What is up, YouTube? Back again with another video. In today's video, man, it's been different for you guys. I know some of you guys have watched my last DayZ video that I uploaded, I think, last week. Were asking me to do a tips and tricks, or tips and fun things to know, helpful things to know type of video. And so I've been working on this for the last week or so. It's not the best video ever. Like, it's obviously not going to be on the same level as, like, other big-time DayZ content creators, but these are some tips. I have about 20 or so tips. I hopefully get through all these in this video. I should have plenty of time. I'm planning on doing other parts of this as well, getting even into more depth stuff like stat-wise and everything. This is more basic stuff. So, again, hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you guys find it somewhat useful. If you do, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. You already know what to do, man. So let's, without further ado, get right into it, man. So, DayZ's a really complicated game, right? Let's first start off with that, right? It's a complicated game at the bare minimum, right? It's going to require you to use somewhat of your brain, right? You can't just blindly play this game, because if you do that, you're going to find yourself struggling more than you should struggle. And so that comes into tip number one, that is use iSurvive app, bro. It will save you so much. It is absolutely insanity, man. It is insane how well the iSurvive app is. You can find that on Android, mobile, desktop, and it is completely free. You can pay for, like, to do, like, you know, squads or whatever on there, so you can, like, have more, you know, people and shit, but it's really not that useful for that. I mean, it could be, but most times you're going to be playing solo or duo or trio, and it's not that hard to keep track of things. But that's tip number one, man. Super basic. Just use iSurvive. It's only like a couple hundred megabytes on your phone, so it doesn't take up a lot of space. Rule number two: bears will de-aggro on you once they hit you. So if you're aggroed, if you have a bear, you're walking through the forest and a bear aggroes on you, they will de-aggro. They will go away if they hit you once and they knock you uncon. So, use this to your advantage. When you're walking through a forest, if you're trying to stay hidden from other players, if you're trying to bounty hunt down someone, or you're trying to hunt for other, you know, food or whatever, I don't know what you're doing in the woods, man. Maybe you're trying to fucking start a fucking cult or something. But if bear comes and you don't want to be hurt by shooting it, just let it hit you. Seriously, just let it hit you, and it will hit you, and then de-aggro, it'll fuck on off. All you have to do is crouch away. Also, a part of this tip as well is that bears are just coded as zombies in the game. So they are basically just zombies, but they're bigger and stronger and have a lot more health. That's the only difference. So it's the same tactics for killing a zombie or taking out a zombie, like getting around it and all that, like walking around and stuff, is the same way, right? Stay quiet, stay crouched, walk slow, and stay out of his line of sight, and you should be good to go. 3. Lay down behind walls to have zombies unaggro or de-aggro. Same thing as the bears, but this time instead of having the zombies hit you, one thing you can do is go in buildings, close the doors, lay down behind a window or a door, or just lay down behind in a room with no walls or windows, or sorry, has walls but no windows and doors, and just kind of lay down in that room. That's usually, if this is a better strategy for cities, if you're, like, say, like Cherno or Electro or so on and so forth. Wait about 5 to 10 minutes, and the zombies will be completely de-aggroed, and you won't have to deal with them anymore. Very dope, very cool. Number 4, if you eat human flesh, you cannot heal from it. This is pretty obvious, I think, for most players, but if you're new to the game, you may not understand this. So, in this game, there's a disease called Kuriki. I could be pronouncing that wrong, but basically all it is you become a cannibal, but you can't heal yourself. So once you eat human flesh or human fat, cooked or raw, you will become permanently ill and you will eventually die. I believe it's about 4 hours in-game time or something you can last. You can last quite a while with it. Your character begins losing sanity pretty early on in the disease. You'll start laughing randomly. And yeah, the only way to really survive, I found, is you can take vitamins, multivitamins, and eat more human meat, and you can keep yourself alive for quite a while, probably even longer than the 4 hours. I've seen cannibals on official that have been alive for weeks in game time, so it is certainly possible to keep your character alive. But do know, once you touch human meat and it's consumed either through the blood on your hands or you physically eat it, you will be perma-hit with that disease. You cannot cure it. There is no cures for that disease. Number 5, taking a codeine before fighting will give you a small boost of health. So just like in Call of Duty, like you have a stim in COD, sometimes you pop before a gunfight, boom, you have a little bit of health, quick, health regen active when you go in that firefight. Same thing with DayZ, man. Pop that codeine pill, pop 2 codeine pills, and you will have about a 10% or so, maybe 15% increase in your health for a few minutes, which means when you're in a firefight, you can actually entirely eat a round. So you can eat up to a 7.62 round, and you'll be alright. Which is pretty cool. It's good to know for PPers. A lot of PPers out there know this. You can also combine this with the morphine injector. So if I like to usually pop a morphine and I'll pop a codeine if I know I'm going to be in firefights for a few minutes, because not only do you have a lot more health, but you also have the ability to run at full speed even if you have low health. So even if you get the yellow, if that morphine's activated, you can run full speed. Number 6, the firefighter gear is the best low-tier gear. So for my guys out here that are new to the game, that are trying to figure out the best strategies to get geared up hella early in the game, go to those fire stations in Electro, Cherno, Baronzino, Cami, wherever you are, wherever has a fire station, right? Go to these fire stations and get the fireman gear. The pants, I believe, give 30, and the jackets give 45. They're super warm, so they're going to keep you nice and toasty. So if you're, on a colder map, for example, like Livonia, which is a little bit colder. I know people say Livonia is actually technically warmer, but it seems to be always colder when I play on a server. So if you're playing on a server that Livonia is colder, or even Cherno's colder, those fireman jackets are pretty great. Obviously, the higher in the map you get, the higher tiers in the map that you get are going to have better gear. But for the early stage, that first few hours of gameplay, those fireman clothes is going to be your go-to. Especially the axes. If you find a fireman's axe, keep that, especially on official, because the fireman's axe I think is currently stat-wise the best melee weapon for killing zombies in the entire game. Also part of this tip as well is when you're looting these cities at the beginning of the game, try to hit as many PDs as you can, because PDs, unlike every other military police form of looting area, they have the best gear there for you. So like if you want a Glock early on, you want a shotty, you want a sniper like the SSG, you're going to find those a lot in PDs, and on official, you have a higher chance of actually finding them more conveniently, because not everyone checks PDs, because a lot of people are scared of PDs because of PvP. Number 7, bandages, sewing kits, rags can all stop bleeding. So those are all things you can do to stop bleeding. You can sewing kit yourself, you can rag it, or you can bandage it. Basically, there's not much to this other than the fact that sewing kits do, I think, have a 50% chance of giving you wound infection. So do mind that. You only need like an iodine or the alcoholic tincture, one of those two, to heal those as well. Number 8, this is a really good one for you guys that are new to the game. My veteran players out here probably already know this, but you always spawn looking north. So no matter what location you spawn in, Cherno, Electro, Baronzino, Civet, doesn't matter, you are always going to spawn looking north, which means you're always looking pretty much in the center of the map, and as long as the ocean's behind you, you're always heading north. There's other strategies to kind of figure out what the directions you're going, but eventually you'll just figure it out as you go. Obviously, compasses and maps and GPSs are all going to be super helpful in-game. Number 9, and this is kind of just a pro tip for keeping your sanity, and that is do not trust no one on DayZ, bro. Don't trust a single person, because everyone in DayZ is out there to get you, bro. Every single person. I don't care if it's Jesus or Muhammad. They are out here to get you, man. I'm telling you, do not trust nobody. I don't even trust half the people I play with. Like, it's just, you don't, bro. Don't ever trust people, because people can shoot you in the back. People can steal your gear. They can sell you. Don't trust people. All right, here. So number 10, we're going to go into exactly what medical items there are in the game and what they do. So mainly pills is what we're going to go into here. Okay, so Tetra pretty much treats and cures cholera, which is like a water bug, like a water sickness from drinking dirty water. cold, and influenza or the flu. Charcoal is for curing. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this. Basically, if you eat raw food, you'll get sick from the raw food. It cures that. As well as you can use charcoal tablets to fill gas mask filters. Codeine just gives you a small boost of health, as we've already talked about. Multis just boost your immune system to 100 for 5 minutes. So there's actually some hidden things about the multivitamins. Most of it's which is like conspiracy more than it is anything else. But there's a running theory that if you consume them every 20 minutes, you are going to basically maximize your immune system, meaning you cannot get sick from like the cold, cholera, those type of things, right? The flu. This again is not 100% accurate, as there's no stats to actually prove this, but it does feel when you're in game and you're popping more and more and more and more multis that you do seem to get sick a lot less. So if you have multis and you have a lot, if you're playing community where you can get tons of them, just keep popping them, man. You know, there's no really negative. You don't die from overeating them. So then you have morphines, give you a boost of health, and also allow you to sprint. If you have like a sprained ankle or whatever, you can full and sprint. The E-pen or the epinephrine pen is unlimited stamina for 1 minute. This also wakes people up, I believe, instantly if they're knocked uncon. And it can also, I believe, maybe this is the one that lets you run when you have a broken leg. It's morphine or E-pen. One of those two lets you run with a broken leg. And I actually need both. Then the alcoholic tincture and iodine are both the same. So in the stats in the game, they do the same thing, which is quite odd because sometimes they don't do the same thing in game. So keep that in mind. Really, what I find is the iodine is probably the most used one. You'll see on people carrying it. Chlorine just cleans water. So pop that in your jerry can of water, pot, canteen, bottle, whatever you're using for water. The pox pen will basically cure you of the pox sickness. For you guys that don't know what the pox sickness is, there's random gas locations on official, and then there's 2 static ones on the Cherno and Livonia maps each. And then on a community, obviously, they can have their own custom gas zones. But basically, it's a green cloud of gas that will make you sick and cause bleeds. So if you're in that gas, you get sick from it, you pop one of these pops pens, and it will cure you. All right. Number 11, the burlap sack and the rope will make a makeshift bag. So if you're looking for a really easy, quick bag to make, and that's kind of okay with space, then there you go. There you can make it with a burlap sack and a rope. Number 12, if you have a belly symbol pop up on your screen, it'll be in the bottom right next to the food and water, health, and blood and temperature gauges. It'll have like a little belly symbol, and basically when that pops up, just stop eating. You're full. Let that symbol do its thing. Let it sit for a few minutes. Once the symbol goes away, continue eating until the apple and the water bottle are completely full. And once they're completely full, that should last you 24 hours in-game. So from sunrise to sunset. That should, with a capital, should. Because it doesn't always do this, especially if you're running, you're building. Those type of things do often take up a lot of the energy from those bars, as well as if you get shot and you're healing or you get sick and you're healing. Those will also drain those bars quicker, so do keep that in mind. 13, like I said before, if you're laughing and you don't know why you're laughing, I'm sorry to tell you, man, you got Kuroku, bro. You ate human meat, or you had human blood on your hands when you drank or ate something. So make sure you're washing your hands. So again, the only way to get rid of this disease is to put a 45 through yourself, man. That's all I'm going to say. 14, Tizzy is the highest MP gear, military gear-wise, and then NWAF is the most PvP. So how this game is kind of designed is in sets and signs. It's designed in sets of 4 levels. So the first level is going to be your coast. That's level 1. Level 2 is going to be the middle to low coast. So your Zelenogorsk is going to be tier 2. is tier 3, right on that little line, right? Tier 3 is going to be Northwest, and then Tizzy and Commence Military are both going to be tier 4, okay? Now, this doesn't really matter in community servers, but on official, this will mean crucial. This means certain guns will only spawn in those high tiers or low tiers. Mags and ammo spawns in certain tiers, so keep that in mind. Memorize that the higher the map you go, the further in you go to the map, the higher the skill players and the higher the tier weapons as well. Northwest is pretty much the most common place for PvP. But in recent months, I've took notice that people have been doing a lot of PvP in places like Zeleno, Commence, Cherno, Electro. So keep your eyes out, man. You never know. 15, if you're trying to kill zombies fast and you're on a community, power hit zombies. Within 4 power hits, 5 power hits, your zombies should be dead. If you're on official, you could do this, but you're going to burn through your stamina really quick. So if you're trying to, like, you know, if you need to make a getaway, you're going to be shit out of luck. 16, gun kits can be used to fix guns, mags, and suppressors. So I've heard some people get confused. They think that mags, the mag, like the weapon gun kit things, can heal pretty much anything weapon-wise. That is incorrect. They can only fix mags, guns, and suppressors. They cannot fix scopes or any other attachments, as far as I'm aware, that I've seen from testing. To fix scopes, you will need a electrical repair kit, I believe it is. 17, leather sewing kits, epoxies, and can both fix plates and pouches. Epoxies and leather sewing kits can also fix helmets, I believe, as well. And then the leather sewing kits is obviously used for things that require leather. So I think hats can be used. You can use hats. Can be repaired by leathers, I believe, as well. I could be wrong on that. And then obviously they can be used for shoes. 18, epoxy fixes plates and helmets. Like I said before, I don't know why I put this on twice, but you know, it is what it is. Again, epoxy putties will fix both helmets and plates. They also do fix some other things that I'm not 100% confident in. I believe they can fix some tools and some other things like tents and stuff, but I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that exactly. 19, you can single shoot. I don't know why I put this on here. I feel like everyone knows this, but maybe some of you guys don't. So in this game, most guns are either full, semi, burst, or doubles, okay? Like the Blaze, double shot. Shotguns can be double shot. A lot of the ARs are single, full. There's a couple, like 1 or 2 ARs that are burst and single. And then obviously if you're semi-auto rifles, like your sniper rifles and stuff. But any gun in the game can be single-shotted. Even the shotguns, the double-barrel guns, all those can be one-shotted if you choose to. So keep that in mind. Basically, all you have to do is aim down the sights if you're on PlayStation and hit down on the D-pad and up on the D-pad, and that should change your thing depending on your controller setup. 20. If you're sick, eat slowly. If that sick symbol pops up on your bottom right corner, just eat slowly. Take a nibble, stop animation. Take a nibble, stop animation. Keep a nibble, stop animation. Keep doing that, you'll be fine. Sodas don't make you puke, period. So if you ever need to drink or you want to keep drinking after you're full, if you can do sodas, they don't make you puke. 21, and this is going to be the last one on the list that I have right now, is drop bag before going into a firefight. This is something that I'm learning to do more now as I'm getting better and better and better and better at PvP and getting in way more firefights, and that is dropping your backpack with like your price pistol. I'll put a lot of, like, if you're going into a city, what you could do is put all your good gear. So if you have like key cards or lots of meds or lots of food that you want to keep, ammo that you don't need all of it, throw it on your bag, drop it in a bush somewhere near the town, edge of town, and then go do your thing. Bags last up to 7 days, so even if you die and you don't say you get off for the day, you can come back tomorrow, and as long as no one's looted that bag, it'll still be there for you. So keep that in mind as well. That is all the tips. I know this is not the most crazily edited and well done video ever, but I do hope this helps somebody out there get a little better DayZ. I want to do, like I said before, I want to do some better videos on this. I think this is a really fun idea, and it really challenged me a little bit because I had to sit down and really think about these tips, and I found myself reading a lot of the DayZ Wiki. So if you guys want to look for yourselves for tips, go to the DayZ Wiki page. That place has all the information you can possibly get. And it's crazy, bro. It's insane. This game is so far in depth. I might even do a building tips and tricks video, if y'all are interested in that as well. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. You're one of a kind, and I'll see you guys out here in DayZ. Just don't shoot me in the back, please.